Tastes
What?
good.
A coffee mayonnaise?
Yeah, it's like the Colombian, I think, is what you got me.
Coffee,
Some jalapenos.
coffee mayonnaise. There's no way that's a thing. I don't believe you.
That sounds like the name of like an alternative band from like 2002, Coffee Mayonnaise. Which I will say, like, regardless of your opinions on mayonnaise in general, I would say that mayonnaise is a gross word. That
I don't like
mayonnaise does not come out of the mouth feeling good. You know,
It goes into the mouth feeling good, though, baby.
That's right. You know what? To be fair, I actually am a Greek yogurt boy now. Instead, I will swap out any recipe that calls for mayo. I'll swap in 0% fat Greek yogurt for the macros, my man.
I prefer that for sour cream, honestly.
I also do that.
Greek yogurt to sour cream. Okay.
Yeah, Greek yogurt's better than sour cream.
I
think so.
Not so hot take. It is better.
Well, I would say that mayo is you know, such a different flavor palette to Greek yogurt. Like, maybe you could say it's a texture thing, it could work. But like, you know, if I had a sandwich and it had Greek yogurt on it, I think I'd be able to tell pretty immediately.
If I have a hankering for mayo and you swap that for Greek yogurt,
dude,
you don't want to know what's gonna happen.
Dylan has no hankering for mayo. He can't eat it.
Well, I can eat it. I just don't like to. I gotta. It doesn't.
You have is it like a moral thing?
Yeah, you know, I woke up one morning after a vision from God. There was a sheet, and
Yeah,
underneath it was mayo.
Yeah, there was a sheet.
No,
and
never again.
On the sheet were all animals and foods possible, except for mayo.
Except for mayo wasn't there. So I knew immediately after that.
It was the 1.01 patch to God's vision to Peter.
Oh goodness, balancing changes, including mayo. Get it out of here.
That's sort of what Mormonism is, right?
Yeah. That's like
actually the expansion. That's the total rebalance.
Yeah. It's the like non-canon expansion. You know?
The mod pack.
Yeah,
the mod pack. Yeah.
I'm sorry for your Mormon listeners.
Well, actually, this episode has a much higher chance of a Mormon listenership than any of our other episodes.
That's true,
because you're on it. So, you know, and you've got Mormon friends, or we've got our Mormon friends are mutual Mormon friends.
Oh, I was like, how I'm not just running in Mormon circles. It's just Mormon's aware.
No, I don't know if you do this, Garrett, but you got a huge draw when it comes to it's just
whenever we put Garrett on the show, we get a ton of Mormons watching.
You know, and don't even tell me how I obtained those analytics, dude. But I got them, brother. I know.
He kills it in the Utah market. Kills it.
It's because I'm white.
You send him all over the place. He can't fill a theater. You send him there, fills a stadium.
It's because I'm a white guy who does musical theater. That's got to be right.
That'll do.
No, there's a dime a dozen out there, man. You're not that special in Utah. White
That's
guy.
True. What would set me apart in Utah? Is there anything about me that would differentiate me from Utah?
I was going to say that you're willing to embrace your baldness. I think is a non-Mormon category. What was? Okay. So Lee Hauser's telling us he knows bald Mormons.
You just got checkmated. He came with receipts.
Well, actually, he did not come with receipts.
Pull up a picture. Someone pull up a picture of a bald Mormon. Let's do it.
Jamie, pull it up. Bald Mormon.
Oh man, you know, actually today, honestly, I don't listen to the JRE, but today I listened to 2 full JRE episodes.
You just you're lying then. You
do
listen to the JRE.
That statement. I don't listen to it. And
I happen to listen to 3 hours worth of JRE on accident.
Like 6. Whoops.
Yeah. Well, I'm not to say like as in I'm not a regular listener. There we go.
Okay.
And it's not like, you know, but he had Ric Flair on, so I had to listen to that. That was pretty wild.
Who's Ric Flair?
A professional wrestler from the 80s and 90s.
Oh.
It was super fun. But
is this a glowing endorsement to the JRE, dude?
No, I honestly think that Joe's not really good at his job.
Well, I mean,
don't let the JRE boys hear you, dude. You're gonna get
yeah, dude. I will say
you're
that
trying to pick a fight with the biggest podcast in the world right now.
Yeah, well, it's called punching up, Garrett. You're allowed to do it. It's called punching
in fact, you know, we're at such a size that we can't punch down. So I mean,
that's true.
That's true. Who is below? Yeah, there's nothing below me.
Yes, worse
somebody,
than a worm.
A grandpa accidentally uploading an MP3. That'd be
dude.
Yeah, that's punching down on old Papa's attempt to, you know,
That was one of the things. I'm no longer on TikTok anymore. That was one of the things I loved about TikTok is that old people accidentally posting videos of stuff would blow up. It would get super popular, and it'd be some old guy like, and with like a weirdo song playing. Yeah, and it's like, man, I really like that. I think that's very funny.
It's a good vibe, dude. Oh, you know what is a lost art? Is the YouTube lyric videos, dude.
Yeah,
those got millions of views. And I cannot tell you why they had more than sometimes like the music video itself, right? Like what about the lyric video?
Because somebody wants to know the lyrics, dude.
Yeah. Have you ever? Also, you've never wanted to know the lyrics to a song? Yeah. In Microsoft PowerPoint.
Yeah. Well, also I think people use that for karaoke as well.
Okay.
But then how else would we have gotten one of the greatest moments in YouTube history?
I think I know what you're gonna say, but I want you to say it.
The Get Lucky lyrics to Get Lucky by Daft Punk. You know how it starts off going, like the legend of the Phoenix. There's this really famous YouTube lyric video where it says, like the legend of the penis.
Classic.
Truly beautiful.
Yeah. One of the great.
That's one of the hallmarks of our civilization.
Dude, the cultural touchstones that will
went on that Carl
us.
Sagan disc that ended up in the on the satellite.
The alien,
the gold disc. What is that? It's like.
We were gonna
naked people, some angles. I'm trying to. What's on it again?
It's just like math problems.
Just a bunch of weirdo stuff, right? It was
weirdo stuff.
Yeah,
dude.
like Pythagoras, like the Pythagorean theorem or whatever.
The what?
They just had a bunch of nerds decide what goes on there. They didn't put any like buff men like flexing or like anything that's important in our society.
Dude, not even one single WWE fight from start to finish.
Not even one episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure made it on the gold disc.
Exactly. Apparently, though, if it's like it's a record too, so you can play it like with a needle, which who knows if aliens have figured that one out.
That's true. What if that was like what made us special? And
isn't there like some sort of sci-fi thing, like an episode of a show or something, where it's like the thing that makes humans is we make music?
That sounds like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, I don't know.
A single episode of a sci-fi show about.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of sci-fi shows, or not a lot, I would say some are like
anthologies, right?
Yeah. We're talking the Black Mirror.
I do like what comes to my mind is the episodes of Next Gen Star Trek, where like it'll be Data like learning how to play, and they're like, Data, it sounds perfect, but like there's no feeling, right?
And here we are listening to AI Drake,
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, who was I talking to the other day about how TNG sucks for like the first season and a half?
Oh, it's so bad.
It's so unbelievably bad. And then it's the good Star Trek. It's the Star Trek you could get into. Like not to say that the original Star Trek's bad, but they're like, oh yeah, just start with the TNG. You'll like TNG. Like it's so bad. It's unbelievably terrible.
I mean, hey, I think that sci-fi television, just in general, is a huge risk when you sit down to watch it, right? Like there's probably a 95% chance that it is going to be
Have you ever had the pleasure of watching a CW superhero show before?
I've seen enough clips to know what you're getting at.
Exactly.
Weren't the shows like good for like 2 years? Like
Arrow,
it was like
apparently
Arrow
was good.
and the Flash were like good for a little while, and people were like, it's really happening, and now they're like ass, and it's like
unbelievably so. It's like the same people who make Riverdale, you know what I mean, are making it. So
which is also a superhero show for a time.
What?
Or for a period.
Well, people said it was good for a year and a half. But
True.
Now they have superpowers. You not know this?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It's now a superhero show.
Yeah.
They got.
Did that just like happened?
Oh yeah, no. I saw a clip where it was like Archie and Betty, and they're like, "Man, I can't believe that we had to merge the multiverses." And they're like looking at each other. It's like, now that we have superpowers, how are we going to be regular teenagers?
There's a great video out there. I forgot what it's called that just sort of walks through like the major milestones in that show.
Yeah,
and like season 4 is one of the characters turns out to be a leader of an underground cult that's bent on destroying Riverdale. It's like
of course
it does not take long. Like you'd imagine that to be like an 8 season kind of thing, but no, it does not take long for things to turn around.
Well, there's crossovers too. They hang out with Supergirl, and it gets out of control.
Love it.
Yeah,
love it. Yeah,
they got to do the Sonic the Hedgehog TV show because Archie Comics is also technically the Sonic the Hedgehog comic books.
Yes,
were in the Archie comic
universe
and umbrella.
Technically, they're canon within
each other.
Yes.
Wow.
So
yeah,
I mean, I don't know where that leaves us. Like, I don't know what the next step is here, but
what's the next evolution? Where does Sonic fit in?
Yeah.
Where does Chris Pratt's Mario come in?
Did you see that movie?
No, dude, I didn't. Yeah. I kind of want to. There's a part of me that wants to.
I feel like it's now kind of a running joke on the show that we have not seen the Mario movie.
Yeah, but we've talked about it for like the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh well. I mean, hey.
This is just the Mario movie podcast now.
Yeah.
But you're never gonna see it.
Yeah, I wish.
I like to imagine that Donkey Kong does this in the Mario movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, he only did the Seth Rogen laugh once. They only gave it to him once. So I mean, hey,
what?
Overall, that's good. Well, I mean, Seth Rogen voices Donkey Kong, right? But they only did the once. Okay, they didn't do that multiple times.
It's like Seth Rogen was here with us.
Yeah. Well, spiritually, he
too bad he's
astro projected himself into my body.
He's on ayahuasca, right?
Yeah.
He's done enough weed. He could do that.
Yeah,
probably.
Guys, we got frickin' Garrett Hall on the podcast today.
Unbelievable.
Dude. Longtime good friend, longtime best friend. Maybe I'd go that far.
Even don't be too don't yeah, careful.
Yeah, okay.
Careful throwing that word around, all right?
Yeah, exactly. You're right, Garrett. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be so optimistic. I don't know what you're here to tell me. Right? Like this could be
I'm actually here to break you guys some bad news. That's all
I'm cutting you off.
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I'm blocking you on everything. It's good to have you on. It's one of those things where when we started doing remote episodes, we're like, we gotta have Garrett on the pod, and finally it's happened. We've made it happen. So welcome, dude.
Thank you for
welcome
having
to
me.
our domain, dude.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, should we get right into it? I mean, I don't see any reason not to.
Yeah.
We're here. Guys, the show is called Monomaniacs for a reason. Right? I don't even know if we've even mentioned the name of the show at this point, but you freaking read the title when you clicked on it.
Yeah. We don't need to introduce it.
No. Anyway, what do? We freaking talk about our monomaniacal obsessions, what we're into right now, dude. And I mean, I want to throw this over to our guest because every week we bring a guest on, they talk about it, what they're down for. And so Garrett Hall, what is your monomaniacal obsession of the week?
That's a really good question. I've been thinking about this
Okay. Good.
A lot. I mean, something that I've been doing, this hasn't been like the last week, it's been like the last month, is I was like, I was like, okay, I like to lift weights, and that's something I really enjoy. I like the routine.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, man, if I'm going to be like a healthy person, I should probably incorporate some cardio into my workouts. And I don't want to run. I don't want to bike. That's too expensive. I don't want to go to the gym and like get on a bike machine or something. And so I decided to buy a jump rope. And I've been jump roping.
Nice.
Dude, I thought this was leading to you saying I have a rowing machine. Like I thought that was where this was going to end up. But jump rope. Okay.
Jump rope. Yeah. Okay. So I've been jump roping a lot.
Just so that those that don't know, Garrett is a giant of a man. He is a very tall individual. Hey,
just hold on.
No flexing, dude.
I can't. I have to
burst the shirt open.
Yeah.
So to me, the image of you jump roping at high speeds is, to be honest, a comical one. It's funny to me.
It's probably pretty funny.
Yeah. So what was sort of the impetus here? Like how did you get started on the jump roping? Why was it the thing that you went to?
Yeah, let's see. Well, it's like I didn't want to have to go somewhere. What I like about working out at home is that you're at home, right? If you like go out into your garage, it's like everything's in the garage, right? And so it's like for me, I was like, I want something that I can do. I don't want a big piece of equipment, right? I'm like, but I want something that I can do that's cardio, that's right there, that like right next to my weight set, right?
Yeah.
And that to me seemed like the obvious choice, right? Like it was like it'll work like that.
Not only do you not have to go anywhere, but if you're going somewhere while you're jump roping, you are doing it wrong. Right? You're actively.
No, I've seen jump running before. People do that.
Yeah, we did that back in gym, and it sucked and was the worst.
It does take. It took me like a couple of weeks to be able to actually get into a rhythm. It's like the first 2 weeks, it was like just like I would like jump twice and then slap myself in the ankle, and I was like just leaving welts, and it kind of sucked.
Yeah,
I'm
you
still
were
not
going
very
hard.
good at it.
Yeah, holy smokes. Well, so what's the sort of, to you, a next step, right, on like the progression of this mindset? You get like a bejeweled jump rope, right? Like where do you get an additionally fancy
What are you
material?
talking about?
I mean, like
You're asking.
like,
Well, yeah, I'm not sure if I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what kind of gear can you get for this? You know,
can get
like
some-
a jump rope.
Yeah,
I mean, are
I
you
did.
good
So I
with
bought
just
one.
what you got?
Right?
Yeah,
There is like an entire world of like jump roping, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
you guys have seen Jump In, right? I don't need to
Oh,
explain.
of course.
it.
Yeah.
No, there's like weighted jump ropes.
Actually, at the
There's
end
like,
of every episode, we give a synopsis of Jump In from start to finish.
so you start with the Mario movie at the beginning, finish with Jump In.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I interrupted you. You're
Hey.
saying weighted jump ropes.
Yeah, so there's like weighted ones if you want something a little bit more intense. For me, I am so big that like just the act of jumping for 15 minutes like really is like really pushes me to my breaking point. You know?
yeah.
So how do you do that though in conjunction with lifting? Because in my mind,
You
lifting
do it at the same time, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in my mind, lifting is very hard on your knees, right? As far
Really?
as exercise disciplines are concerned, you're like, yeah, what you have ass form. I'm saying like over the long term, right? When you talk to like lifters who've been doing it for years, like there's a lot that goes on with your knees, especially if you're doing a lot of like squats. I mean, is that something that's happening in conjunction with jumping? Like, especially if you're doing leg day, right? There has to be other forms of cardio that you can do in conjunction with leg day that are going to be a lot easier than doing leg day and then jumping for 15 minutes.
You know, I feel like you're probably gonna get just body problems if you're like lifting really heavy all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's probably or at least what I think you're referring to is like if you know somebody who's like really pushing their squat max and their deadlift and stuff, it's like that's going to give you problems, especially if you're not careful, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like the heaviest I'll do is like 100 pounds for squats, and so I really don't foresee that happening.
So you're not trying to like push your max constantly.
Not
You're
really,
more like
not at this point.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like I inherited a weight set from my father. He didn't want it anymore, so I got like a whole cast iron weight set.
Nice.
Wow, you could bake a beautiful rotisserie chicken on that, dude. Just take a whole chicken, set it on the weight, put it in the oven,
Cast iron.
You could really just
Very funny.
Yeah, it's just the season.
Dude, you're really sticking with this joke.
Yeah,
sorry. I was waiting. I was looking for what the punchline was going to be, and I couldn't find it. So thank you for pointing that out to me. I feel loved and supported. So
yeah. So what's that kind of like building a home gym setup then in that respect? Because I guess if you have a weight set, what you have, imagine you have a bench, you have the weights. Do you have dumbbells as well?
Oh, that's all I have. I just have a dumbbell set. So
you just have a dumbbell set.
Yeah,
okay.
it's like 50 through 15. So
okay.
And I am very happy to have inherited that because those are like, man, like $2 per pound if you're gonna buy them.
Yeah.
So it's like $1,500. It's like,
hey,
but
there you go.
If your dad stops wanting his, that's really where it's at.
Yeah, what I need is my dad to give up on his exercise entirely and believe that he'll never.
What I need is my dad to give up.
Yeah.
Just entirely.
Not only will it allow me to justify giving up, but it will also, I will get the windfall.
So do you really think that having a home workout set up really improves your desire to work out?
Yeah.
Because in my mind, because I had a membership for a while at a gym that's local here, and I'm not going to say the gym because I'm about to besmirch them a little bit, but they had a weird culture, and I went a couple of times, and it was off, so I didn't go back. But with my new job,
what about it made it weird?
Yeah, elaborate.
Yeah. I gotta know the details. Like,
so
was everybody?
Give me the dirty deets on your local Hillsdale gym.
Yeah. Well, it's one of many gyms, but. I was going there, and
we have a surprisingly high number of gyms here.
I had never lifted really consistently before, And a friend of mine, there's like a real big amateur lifting culture here. A lot of people try to get together and do it.
Okay.
Pretty consistently. And a friend of mine said, "Hey man, I'll teach you the basics, right? We'll just, this is how you do a military press. This is how you do a squat. This is how you do, et cetera. Here's the form. So you don't hurt yourself, and then you can figure everything out from there." But he was instructing me on the basics at this gym, and then the head of the gym like freaked out at him because he was like, "This is a trainer-led gym. You can't be teaching people.
Oh, you're not allowed to train here.
You can't train here. You can't teach people form, right? That's
kind of silly.
That's you cutting us out of, the $50 or whatever it would cost for me to get, pay somebody to do that. So it caused a whole ruckus, and then,
Come on, Shad, you're driving those trainers out of a job. How are they going to buy chicken?
Yeah. How are they going to buy chicken in large quantities of water?
Yeah. Come on, dude. Think about your local trainer, all right?
Yeah. So I and then I started lifting elsewhere, but then my chronic issues started to arise, so I had to put a stop to that.
That's what they always say, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody's giving excuses.
Yeah, I got chronic issues.
I have too many. I have too much chronic. You know what I'm saying? I got a little problem with the chronic.
Yeah. You got to be David Goggins, where you're like, I'm gonna run 50 miles, even though my knees are literally gonna fall off.
Cannot walk anymore. He's like permanently disabled.
Yeah. Oh man, that's
the grind though, dude. You gotta run until you die.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, and it's that way with everything in life, not just with physical exercise. Yeah. You got to do everything to the point of destruction, right? Yeah. To show that you're dedicated and you're on the grind.
You hear people talking about him like, man, that guy really goes for it. And you're like, no, he's killing himself. He's killing himself actively. And who am I to say? Because I'm nowhere near as physically capable as him. But
I think you could actually, at this point, if you sat down in front of a doctor, even with your weak knees, they'd be like, your knees are better. You got better legs. Yeah. Your legs will survive longer.
You have better legs than Goggins right now. How does that feel?
Wow. Well, I'm not a Navy SEAL, so. Although, did he ever finish his Navy SEAL training? I thought he ducked out at the last minute. I don't know.
That might be the case.
Jamie, look it up.
Yeah,
Jamie. Yeah, pull it up. Jamie. Pull up Goggins' service record.
I don't want to disparage the teams. Yeah. I don't want to disparage the teams.
Oh man.
Okay, so he is a retired United States Navy SEAL who did serve in the Iraq War. So
okay, so he's
exactly.
Sorry, my bad.
Respect this man.
Respect the teams. Honorably discharged.
There's honor in it.
For the record, he's a tool, I think. But
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
Josh is coming in here. He's the one who's throwing the gauntlet down.
Yeah. The voice of reason.
Yeah, voice of reason.
Punching up, as it were.
Yeah. David Goggins.
You know what? To be fair, I feel like even though he can't walk anymore, he could probably still kick all of our asses.
Yeah, it's true.
So
at the same time, he's the kind of guy though, based on his social media presence, who would if he found out that Josh said that, might even just threaten. He probably wouldn't do it, but he'd threaten to kick Josh's ass, no problem.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, he would just post a picture of Josh's profile picture and be like, "I will kick this man's ass."
Yeah. Right now, him and I think Dan Crenshaw are feuding over because the basics of it.
Media beef. I love it.
I think
this is a media beef podcast now.
No,
Let's go.
It's not even media
drama
beef.
alert.
This is the team's beef. This is our special forces beefing.
Hoorah!
But
our country is in shambles.
It's because people don't respect the flag anymore, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason. People used to stand and say,
You're falling apart.
Dude.
Man, you just love your country so damn much.
I do, man.
You can't articulate it, dude.
My country tis of thee.
Yeah, no, apparently what it was, though, is that Crenshaw, asked him to blurb his book, and then he didn't get back to him. And then Crenshaw was on another podcast or something and was like, yeah, man, the teams, they don't really respect Goggins. And then Goggins, who can't take anything lying down, is like, you motherfucker, you just son of a, just on his podcast, saying he's going to kill Dan Crenshaw. I mean, it's out of control. So
wait, Crenshaw said that the teams don't respect
Goggins. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was saying that that actually is rough as a Marine, I imagine.
Yeah.
That'd be terrible to hear.
Well, Goggins is not a Marine.
Oh shoot, what was it?
He was a Navy SEAL.
Navy SEAL.
They're like the Marines of the Marines of the Marina, I guess.
Yeah.
The Marines of the Marina.
Marines.
They're like marine biologists if we gave them AK-47s.
Dude.
Yeah,
respect
it's
them.
really just come on, guys, squash the beef. You're gonna hear this first from us.
Squash the beef, guys. Our country is in shambles.
Veterans have it hard enough right now. You know, you gotta squash the beef.
Yeah.
We don't want to have any more issues in that department.
Goodness gracious! I feel like we got to title this episode "Garrett Hall punches up," dude.
That's right.
Well,
Who should I take on? Who should I take on? If I'm gonna punch up, me with no social media experience.
Jared Leto. I think you could beat him. I think you could win that engagement.
The Joker? No, not even Jared Leto. Just the Joker in general. I'm taking on the Joker.
Yeah, the Joker. This is a call out.
Yeah.
So we could call it jumping up though, because you are jumping. You're jumping a lot more. Yeah. So actually, a quick question about that. What are some incremental milestones for one who is doing jump rope cardio? Or is your hope to acquire, to exceed the 15-minute mark consistently, or are you just like, no, this is just something I'm doing because I need some jumping experience?
That's a good question. I don't know if I have any like firm goals. Yeah, I guess like be able to do it for like an extended period of time. So like a whole 15 minutes without stopping. And then also just be able to like be in the rhythm that whole time too, because it's like, you'll hit yourself with a jump rope.
Well, he's got to prepare himself for the eventuality when he's in a jigsaw created trap, in which wooden bars are put on a treadmill and swung at him at incredible high speeds, and he has to jump over them consistently for 15 minutes.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah. So that's
what crime did he commit
that caused him to do it?
Yeah,
in your life, you were too tall. Everyone had to jump to get to as high as you were. Now you're the guy that has to jump, I guess. And then actually, this whole time, I'm buzzed with Jared Leto. This is on his behalf.
No.
Please. Gosh, I wouldn't want to beef with Jared Leto. That guy's insane.
Yeah,
I would not want to be with Jared Leto.
He's gonna do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Goodness. Isn't
you see his Met Gala outfit?
Yeah, he dressed up.
We did. We talked about this last week.
I haven't seen. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, you should look it up. He dresses as a literal cat, like he's wearing a furry outfit.
Confirmed. The furries have another ally, dude.
Yeah,
they haven't gotten one in a while.
Are you looking at it?
Yo, what?
It's not as bad as Doja Cat's. Doja Cat, she got like face prosthetics. It's really freaky to look like a cat. You should check that out.
Okay, hold on. Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
Gala. This is wacky.
Yeah,
I don't like this.
She answered every question from reporters with meow.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's really funny. Everybody
I hate that. I hate that so much.
All the culture warriors online were like, what have we become? This is so dumb. I'm like, no, this is a girl who knows how to have fun.
This sounds like a good time.
She is goofing. She is goofing all these idiots.
Yeah.
Meow.
You're a Doja Cat apologist?
No, not at all. But in that moment, I was. Yeah. So who designed your outfit? Meow. How long did it take your team to get you to look like that? Meow. I mean, come on now. That's beautiful. Almost as good as the photographer taking photos of the cockroach going down the carpet. Like it was one of the stars.
Man. Best dressed at the Met.
Best dressed cockroach. Yeah, exactly.
But
But Lil Nas X is really going out of control with his outfits, I guess.
Oh goodness! No, as I was saying, it's been a while since the furries got an ally, so I'm glad that Jared Leto.
Who else comes to mind?
Exactly, it's been a while. It's been a long time.
Okay.
The Bim Bam guys, I guess. I don't know.
Bim Bam guys? Yeah, I guess so.
That's about as much as I can think of.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Do you remember when that was like the thing? You know, where it was like
being a furry.
No, like not. Yeah.
Remember back when you were a furry, Garrett?
Remember back in high school?
Nope.
No, definitely
never happened.
Nope.
Yeah. Back in high school, where it's like you're not a furry, you can't sit with us.
I don't remember that. How many furries did you know?
Well, I knew a handful. I don't think I've ever told this story on the podcast.
I don't think so.
About the guy I sat next to in chemistry class.
Well, I've heard it before. I don't know if you've
okay, well,
yeah.
I'm going to tell this story because I think it's a good story.
It is a good story. You should.
I sat next to this kid in chemistry class, and we got paired up to be lab partners because nobody else would be my lab partner and vice versa. But he was a super nice guy, and we were hanging out, and we got talking, and he seemed to be pretty chill, and we talked about, various hobbies and stuff. And anyway, he was like, "Oh, I draw." I was like, "Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool," And then he slowly but surely would start showing me things that he would draw, and it'd be, something like, it'd be like Batman, He'd be like, "Oh, cool, whatever." And then he was like, "Yeah, I also do like, I guess I draw like furry stuff too." I was like, "Really?" Right? He's like, "Yeah, this is my furry art book," and he was like flipping through. He says all his furries that he's drawn, and he's pretty good. And I was like, "Wow, okay, nice, all right." He's like, "Yeah, I can't bring my other book here though." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I can't bring my other book." And he later reveals to me, because we're talking about money and we're talking about jobs, because at that point I was working at Dairy Queen, and he was like, "Yeah, I actually make like several $1,000s a month as like a 16-year-old or something." And I'm like, what do you do?" He's like, "Oh, I do like furry commission work. But, that doesn't pay super well. Sometimes you got to like draw certain things." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, my parents don't know. I just people send me money online and I draw furry pornography." And the wildest thing about it is this guy's a minor.
Yeah.
So it's technically illegal for him to be doing this. And he's making thousands of dollars, hiding it from his parents. And he's like, "Yeah, I have a scanner in my closet that my parents don't know about." And he would draw. And I was like, "Is that like, how do you even get into that?" He's like, "It's just different shapes,
That's horrible.
That's
so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. We ended up still being pretty, we were pretty tight.
We still
and
talk.
That person was Garrett Hall.
Yeah.
No, it was not me. Everyone.
I assure you, it was not Garrett.
Yeah.
Goodness. Yeah.
I wasn't doing the furry stuff. I was just doing like anime porn. That was me.
That was him.
Yeah, you were just also drawing very poorly, to the point where we had no idea that's what it was. We were like, "What are these shapes up to?" You're like, "Oh, well, let me tell you."
Oh, dude. I make several $1,000s a month.
No, I feel like that's just like a perfect articulation of how the internet can just take a minor and completely twist them up real easy.
Yeah.
And it
just on Tumblr,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's all it takes. Or like you're on DeviantArt posting your furry art or whatever, and then there you go. You're locked in.
They're like, "I'll give you
$150. And you're like, whoa.
$150
Imagine all the hero clicks I can buy with $150.
Dude, Clash of Clans, I'm about to buy so many diamonds. What are they, gems or something? I haven't played Clash of Clans in like a decade.
Yeah, I remember you were kind of into it though.
There was like a little while. I have no like memory of how long that was, but I do remember having it.
He's blocked out all those memories.
It's kind of insane for you to be able to say decade for something like Clash of Clans has been around for well over a decade. That's rough.
I mean, man, I remember getting like, I must have gotten an iPod Touch or something in like 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah.
And like you would go on somewhere, you go to church and there's Wi-Fi and you got your iTunes gift card and you're like, "I'm going to buy so many games." Yeah. You have no idea. Angry Birds 2.
Angry Birds Star Wars.
Angry Birds Rio.
Somebody,
I remember that.
I think somebody just bought Rovio, the company that makes Angry Birds, and all the articles were like, "Angry Birds creator Rovio purchased." And you're like, nobody's played Angry Birds in like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years.
Dude, speak for yourself. That's my daily. Dude. That's my liturgy. Yeah, I play Angry Birds every morning.
Yeah, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be. Angry Birds.
Angry Birds forever.
Yeah, that's right. Angry Birds forever.
No, man, I don't know. Yeah, I could get into how. I don't think anybody wants.
Who bought Rovio?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't tell you. No,
you work in the industry. I thought you'd know.
I'm not like looking at the trade news all the time, dude.
Activision. maybe.
What do they pay you for?
Yeah.
Not looking to see who's buying Angry Birds. You don't got the Angry Birds numbers?
It's true. If my boss were to ask me that tomorrow and I said I have no idea, I'd be fired on the spot.
I'm sure you'd be kind of upset.
Yeah.
He's like, you didn't read the fine print of your contract, did you?
You have to know exactly the state of the Angry Birds Rodeo Company at all times, or you are subject to termination. Goodness. No, yeah, it's. I feel like iPhone games, or specifically mobile games, really went downhill very fast. Like there was a 2.5 year period where we got all the classics. They were all for money. You had to pay for them.
Yeah.
And then everything became free, and then everything became bad.
Oh, you know what the hack is for this?
Piracy? Like I don't know what you're gonna say here. Are you gonna advocate for?
Well, if you have an Android,
activities?
If you have an Android, you can emulate Advanced Wars, and you're all good. But for the rest of us, the iPhone havers, Netflix
games.
If you have a Netflix subscription, you get access to Netflix games, which there's games in the Netflix app that you can only get if you have a Netflix subscription, and they're awesome.
What?
They're all like super good.
They're great. Yeah, there are games that cost like $15 to $20 on like
computer on Steam and
Steam that you can just get for free on your.
Is this like
phone
Game
now.
Pass?
I think that's what the idea is, or like what they're shooting for. But like I've literally, the only reason I even know it exists is because I was on my iPhone just looking at games potentially to download, and I noticed the Netflix symbol in the corner of just a random game, and I was
like,
what?
no,
please.
Probably
gone too far.
Probably one of the most fun games I've played, like of any type. And I don't really play video games much anymore, but one of the most fun games I've played of any type in the last like 4 or 5 years was a Netflix app game. It was Pond P, which was amazing.
Pond P?
Pond P, I think is how you say it.
Garrett.
Yeah.
Come on. This is a
PP jokes, dude.
Yeah. PP joke.
This is a family friendly. This is the potty humor's got to come in full swing. You're about to have a child.
Yeah, it's true.
You know how much pee you're gonna deal with? A lot.
It's all pee all the way down, baby. I think it's the guy who made Downwell who made it. It's very good. And then there's also what's that game called? I put like 20 hours into it. I should probably know what it's called. The one about
Angry Birds?
No, I put about 230 hours into that.
1,000 hours into Angry Birds?
Dude, yeah.
Is there an Angry Birds pro scene? Is that a thing?
Dude, okay, I was going to talk about this, though. I knew a guy in college who was into professional competitive Clash of Clans. Right? We're talking like tournaments that you would live stream and watch, right, of people playing Clash of Clans, which to me is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because
was this John Shashka?
No, it was
you just name drop somebody.
John Shashka is into every conceivable pro thing. Yeah, like he's the only guy I ever knew who was into the Overwatch League, and like half the time we were waiting to do stuff with him, he'd be sitting there watching disc golf on his phone.
What about
like, I've been to pro disc golf.
What about pro cornhole?
That's awesome.
You can see that on ESPN here. I don't know if
I've watched it before.
Yeah,
it's just all like old overweight dudes who just nail the hole every single time.
You gotta love a sport that is so disconnected from physical appearance that it's like darts, where it's like all the guys who do darts competitively are heavy dudes.
Have you ever seen the Who's in Charge, Me or the Devil?
Yeah. It's a classic clip. Yeah.
The game I was looking for is Spiritfarer, which is also on Netflix Games. And if I hadn't already put a ton of time into it on my PC, I didn't finish it because it was a little too busy worky, and I ended up having work stuff come up. But it'd be perfect for app, and it's on Netflix. So check it out. I would recommend it.
Yeah. But outside of that space, like so, if you go and look at top games on your iOS, like. And you just scroll through they're all guy screaming games.
They're like the endless runners. There's been a bunch of those. Like I feel like when I was on socials, I would get ads for those all the time.
Oh yeah,
you know, like the ones that like took 1 second to make.
Yes, and it was just like moving the person left or right.
Yes.
And they would walk through a gate that's like plus 10,000 years, and then divided 100 years.
Divide by 2 years.
Well, the funny thing about those is that those ads are fake. Like the games are never like that.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that one? Hero something?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Heroes at a Storm.
No.
greatest game of all time.
Greatest game of all time.
No, it's
goat
the one where
status. Absolutely goated.
It's just a guy has a number above his head, and it's one,
yeah.
and he has to drag. You drag the guy.
Oh,
onto
dude, they're like the towers, and it's like.
And then it's just
the
like,
wild thing about
cannot even.
I can't figure this level out.
How do I don't even know where to put the guy where it's a number that I am more
Well,
than.
the thing is honestly, looking at that, I've always been like, I actually kind of want to play that game. That's not what the game is.
No.
Right?
Well,
did you play the real game? What's the game like?
No, I've seen like the game is I have never played it, but it's an idle combat game where you just watch your dudes. You get heroes.
It's like it's like
Raid Shadow
Legends.
Exactly.
But
the great. Speaking of goat status.
Speaking of goat, yeah.
Yeah, but apparently there are now laws in place that there has to be some aspect of your gameplay in whatever game you have that is included in the game if you're going to show it on an ad. Right?
Yeah.
So usually what it is that there are mini games where it's like you're playing through the regular game, and then periodically it'll be like, and now you can play the mini game, and it's just the game that was in the ad.
Yeah.
Right? And do that over.
The weirdest thing about those ones though.
Yes, is the giant women thing.
Okay, so they're super weird and sexual.
Yeah.
What game? What game you're talking about?
What?
Yeah.
Like the ads usually are the main baddie that she's the main baddie.
Yeah.
The one with the like
We're going off the rails quick.
Yeah. The one with 9,900.
Start talking about Angry Birds again.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so wild when you tap again and the one with the hooked,
what does he do?
Flips back around like a boomerang.
What's the sound that they make? Right? It's like.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Sorry, you were talking about baddies.
Yeah. Anyway, the main bad guy or whatever is always a very giant woman.
Yes.
And he's always like partially wants to defeat her, but also his eyes say otherwise.
Yeah.
It's
really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's like one where this is gonna sound very crass, but I was on YouTube and the ad comes up. And it's
right. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. So the ad comes up, and it's
I was just minding my own business, playing Minecraft.
My pants slipped down.
Yeah.
What's that video? The kid who's like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
it's like the audio. Anyway, sorry. Keep talking about baddies.
But like he walks into a room, and there's this woman grabbing something out of a treasure chest, and then like she farts in his face. And he's like, yeah. And you're like, what the hell is this? What is going on? Because the primary demographic for this is like, the 15 to 18 demographic. I don't know, man. It's pretty wild.
Dude, I mean, all I can say is that ads are, of course, these days decided by algorithms based off of interest. So
okay,
they're just reflections.
Sure.
It's just a reflection.
Sure. It's the dark mirror, dude.
Yeah. Right. Ridiculous. That would totally indicate that I'm also have chronic headaches, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, true.
Do you have chronic headaches?
No, I don't, but I get ads for Ozempic like all the time.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
You should just start taking it. Just see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
what happens if you take headache medication if you don't have a headache?
Thank you, Serena Williams.
Oh, goodness. Not only do I not have a headache, but I've unlocked 100% of my brain.
Yeah.
It's
whatever
that's
the
what
opposite of a headache is, I have it.
Yeah.
You get one of those like when the head like goes out, like and it like expands and it's all veiny.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
Like a brainiac.
Yeah,
dude.
Exactly.
Like Sheen in Jimmy Neutron. That one episode of Jimmy Neutron.
You know, the one episode where he gets the big head, right? Everyone's seen that.
It's a big Sheen big head episode, dude. Come on.
Talk about pillars of our society, okay? The Sheen big head episode.
Oh, goodness. How are we doing on time for the sake of Patreon-related stuff? What are we at, 43?
We're at 43 already? Wow, this is going way fast.
Wow,
Damn.
time really flies when you're having fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
As my dad said before he gave up.
We do not have any questions today from the patrons.
Oh, my mom said that she was going to send some.
Did she not send any?
I don't know. Check your phone.
Check it.
I said check your phone.
Oh,
I didn't get any.
I don't even got none, dude. I don't even got none. Oh, well, can you introduce why I'm even talking about this?
All right, so we're supported by some wonderful people on the platform Patreon. And thanks to them, we were able to keep doing this. We were able to kind of keep the studio space afloat, keep the show on air, and we're growing, slowly, but we are growing, and more and more people are kind of hopping on there. So thank you guys for anybody. We have a new patron supporter who joined after or roughly around when we finished the last episode in the editing process, so they didn't end up on the end card, but former guest Luke Robson is now one of our Grand Viziers.
Top patrons.
Yeah. So we're going to thank all of the top patrons, but a special thanks for Luke. Hopefully he's watching this episode. Who knows?
Hey, as long as the check clears.
Exactly. Luke.
I don't care, man.
Yeah, who cares?
Zach and Amber Straley, Joe Papalardo, and Samuel Roberts for their wonderful donations.
Yes,
and as well, anybody who's in the lower tiers as well. Everything that you do is very helpful. Keeps us afloat and keeps the show going properly. One of the things you can do at the $10 tier is ask questions.
Yes.
Of which we have none right now.
We have none. There are none in the tank.
Okay. Well, there's none in the tank right now. So, Dylan, what was your plan with this?
My plan was to just thank our patrons.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, patrons. Usually we have like 4 or 5 questions, but I guess today you did send the message out today on a Sunday.
It's true.
People were at church, man.
I know. It's my bad.
They're out there worshiping the risen Lord in Eastertide, and here you are.
I know.
Asking them to ask questions of Garrett Hall.
Yeah.
What's a question? Do you guys have a question you've always wanted to ask me?
Question you've always wanted to ask.
I got question.
Okay,
we're on the record right now.
I have a question. Garrett Hall.
This is more of a comment than a question.
You're looking so good right now. Just
you're looking like a snack, brother. Okay. Question is. My wife consistently tells me that she will never allow me to shave my head, right? To do the full baldness move.
My wife says something very similar.
And, I know that you're a bald man. You are a man who shaves his head bald, right? For those that do not see Garrett Hall right now, we previously alluded to, but look at that shiny dome.
When's the last time you trimmed that puppy?
Yesterday. When's the last time you took that baby into the shop? Yesterday, I think.
Okay.
So I just got to know, what was the thought process that brought this about? Right.
Yeah.
How was it justified? How was it self-justified? How did you justify it to the people in your life, dude? 'Cause, it's a big step. You're changing your visage to an extreme amount.
Yeah.
So, what was the impetus?
Well, okay. So I was in college. I just went to university. This might have been like how like sometimes people will do a radical change to their hair or body when they go through a traumatic experience or like a breakup or something.
Yeah.
I went to university. I was having a really rough time the first few months, and then I started to lose the hair here, and I had been for like a while. But I still had like a pretty decent head of hair. But I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm like, I'm just gonna commit. And I'm like, there's just no going back. I'm like, I'm not gonna be balding. Like, I'm not gonna do it.
Why be balding when you can be bald, right? Like, why make this a verb when you can make it an adjective?
Yeah. Nowadays, there's such a the cottage industry for hair retention. Maybe it's just because I'm in the demographic. And nothing but ads.
Let's talk about the algorithm, man. Everybody gets ads for this all the time, right?
But I feel like that's a huge thing now. Is just the hair retention stuff. But maybe they just know I'm bald.
Yeah. Or balding.
Yeah, I'm not bald yet. Yeah. I've on multiple occasions thought about it. Actually, a quick question I have is what do you do to shave? What do you use? Just a straight razor, or not a straight razor? Excuse me. Just like
just covering your head in shaving cream.
Like a like a Bic or like a one blade, or what do you do? Yeah, disposable. Yeah. Be like that guy in Predator. Have you seen Predator?
The Predator?
Yeah. In that you have dreads.
Yeah.
There's this guy who's his like thing. Everybody's gotta have a thing in movies like that. His thing is that he's constantly he has a disposable razor and he's razoring his face and his head just constantly. Smooth as a baby's bottom, apparently.
Yeah,
but
I'm definitely. I would say I'm an apologist for shaving your head.
Which is good. I mean, at least you're not self-hating, right? You can do it out of self-destructive.
I do have like a pretty good head shape, so that helps me kind of pull it off. But
I would say egg-esque head.
Yeah.
Good.
Well,
egg
you
ass.
need to get Abby in to weigh in on that. She's the authority on all things egg.
Yeah, that's true. She could, in 1 second, she could look you over and say, "That guy's got an egg ass head."
She just does like that, the thumb up or thumb down thing.
Yeah. And then you're slaughtered in the arena for screaming fans.
And then they crack my head like an egg. Right? That's what they do.
There's a Beastie Boys song about that. It's called The Eggman. It's about a guy who's got a bald head that looks like an egg, and they shoot him. And they shoot him because they think he's too powerful.
No, he's
they can't keep him around.
He's like rich. He's driving around in a drop top, and he's in everybody's business. And then somebody kills him, and then they equate his
bald men are
brain matter to
let me tell you,
to yolk. Yeah. What kind of powers do you have? What?
Yeah. Are you like Professor X? Like what's the
yeah. It's once you shave off your head, you actually gain like your brain gains range.
Oh, so you can like Wi-Fi. Yeah.
I will say it does I do stand out. So I just started working at Boeing. Like 4 or 5 months ago.
Union man,
union strong, baby.
Yeah.
And I had been working under a wing, right, without a bum cap on, with nothing on, so just my head.
Yeah.
And one of the managers came by and was
naked.
He had nothing on. Right. Look, I'm union strong, baby.
They can't get rid of me.
Where was I go? Oh, but so I was doing that, and I think because of my bald head, this manager came up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, we got to get you a bump cap. You can't be under there without a bump cap on." And I was like, there were 3 dudes next to me who had hair but weren't wearing hats, and I'm like,
dude,
he wants to protect my
your beautiful
dome.
So what is a bump cap?
It's just like a hat with a hard inside of it.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's like a hard hat, but styled.
Oh,
one that you could wear to the club.
Can it be any hat you want? It's got a bowler, fedora, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, you get to order your style, like a top hat.
Does it have a bill, or does it make it look like you're a line cook or something? Is it like
it does have? It has a little bill to it.
Oh, okay.
But what most guys do actually is there's a lining, right? There's the hard plastic inside that you can remove and then put inside of a different hat.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of guys will do that.
I thought you were just gonna say that a lot of guys just take it and wear it like a yarmulke, just put the outline
just
on their head.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's for a different kind of protection.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh man. So wait, what are you wearing otherwise? Do you got a jumpsuit?
Right now.
Hey Garrett, what are you wearing?
What are you wearing? I got this shirt on. I got my chain on. Pants.
Josh, what's going on? Oh, he's playing Point Beat right now. Josh was sitting there just really mad at his phone. Apparently he's been playing Point Beat. Yeah. Okay, so sorry to distract, but wait, are you wearing on the floor, are you wearing a jumpsuit like a mechanic? Or are you wearing
you can wear whatever, basically.
You fly Levi's?
Some of the guys who work in tank. They'll put on full jumpsuits.
Boeing makes tanks?
Yeah.
The government doesn't want you to know.
tanks that fly.
Okay, yeah. Flying fortresses.
Pretty much anything that flies, Boeing is probably involved. That the U.S. government uses. But I don't work with any government sensitive stuff. So I mean, other than Boeing is all kind of proprietary. You got to be careful. You're not allowed to take pictures on Boeing property without a license and stuff. So it's you do have to be careful, but it's there's an extra step for people who do government work. So it's but that's not me.
Do you have any alien coworkers?
That are the big
space.
guys, from space.
That's what I mean. Guys who
little green men.
Yeah, he's not talking about somebody named Jesus. He's talking about.
I'm talking about
aliens.
A guy who he crashed in Roswell, and they use him to come in, give some tips on aerodynamics, that sort of thing. Nothing. You haven't seen that?
No.
You're just disappointed now.
I'm disappointed. I thought you guys.
You were hoping I was working with aliens.
Yeah, I was hoping there was some grays running around. I was hoping for some grays.
Just a bunch of them, small, short.
No, you know what it is? It's just all men who are really angry all the time.
That's
what it is.
Is it really? There's a lot of rage, you'd say?
Yeah, just I was training with this guy who I'm not going to use his name, but
yeah,
he was
what's
like,
his
he just retired.
full name and address,
credit card number, social. No, so I was training with this guy, right, and he actually retired now, so I've taken over his job. But
okay, yeah.
He was like a month away from retiring when I met him, and when he was supposed to train me, and he would get super mad about just like everything. And I'm like, dude, you're like almost out of here. Why even let it bother you? Like, why? You're so close to the finish line and you're getting mad about how tired your feet are. It's like, dude.
Well, hey, I mean, once you're in that mode for so long, dude.
I don't think
you looked into the dark mirror, dude. The black mirror.
No.
That's your future, brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna just start driving really aggressively, and
then
I'll get home and go in the bathroom for an hour, and then go spend all day out in the shop.
Yeah. You're gonna start.
I do not talk to my wife. Yeah.
We talked about this when you first got the job, but I'm looking forward to the day in which you start getting stickers like Calvin peeing on a Chevy symbol. Yeah, and putting those on the back of your car. Now that you're a blue collar worker,
on the back of my Chevy Silverado. That's like it's like one of the lifted ones with the giant chrome wheels on it.
Yeah,
and then I'm just like tailgate somebody in the right lane. It's like.
You got those truck nuts, dude.
Yeah,
of course.
Dude, you know what? I had a truck and I sold it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're regressing. You're next thing you know, you're gonna own a Subaru, dude.
I do own a Subaru.
No! I thought I knew you, Garrett. That's it. They're kicking you out of the union.
Yeah. This guy drives a Subaru. No, I had a Toyota Tacoma, which I feel like is a pretty reasonable truck.
It's a very reasonable truck.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable. But it didn't have a back seat, and it didn't get
good mileage.
Doesn't get the best gas mileage, right?
Yeah,
better than some trucks, but not the best. So I sold it, and I bought the hybrid. So
yeah, have we talked since I'm Jeep Life now?
You're a Jeep. What is it? A Grand Cherokee?
Yeah, Grand Cherokee. It's not real Jeep Life, but 2001 Grand Cherokee.
2001 Grand Cherokee, brother.
Yeah. What if I told you it was the previous owner lifted it as well? So it's a lifted 2001 Grand Cherokee.
That's like I didn't have a Grand Cherokee, but you guys remember I had a Jeep in high school. A lifted
I remember.
Jeep.
Yeah, Jeep Life, dude. Jeep Life.
Jeep Life. Now you're gonna start getting. Do you do the Jeep wave to people?
Well, so I from what I've heard from Wrangler owners, if you Jeep Life, if I were to say Jeep Life wave a guy in a Grand Cherokee,
he's gonna pull over and shoot you.
Yeah, they'd be real upset. They'd be real upset.
That's stolen Jeep Valley.
Stolen Jeep Valley. The Jeep teams would not be very happy with me.
No, they would not.
Yeah.
That's what my dad. I remember, like when I was driving my Jeep around, because my dad had a big lifted Wrangler, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, like should I do the Jeep wave to people? And he's like, people don't really do that with your Jeep. All right.
And then he closed the door.
Yeah. Then he went out to the shop.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown walked away.
I honestly feel like I would love. When I first got it, I was like, I need stickers that say like Jeep Life.
It's a Jeep thing.
It's a Jeep thing.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm a girl. I drive a Jeep. Jeeps
Move
aren't just
over,
for
boys. Jeeps are for girls.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's you, dude. You got to do it.
That's your vibe.
The closest thing I've done is I have dice. I have fuzzy dice on the rear view.
That seems pretty your speed.
That's more like drug dealer speed, though.
Well, yeah. Well, so that's the thing is when I got the car for the first time, I was like, when I was in 6th grade, I imagined probably like my cool friend's cool older brother driving a car like this and like smoking cigarettes and listening to Offspring. You know what I mean?
And I was like, you?
No, I don't. I don't listen to Offspring, but I feel like
now you're driving a Jeep and smoking a cigarette.
I've never smoked in that car.
Listening to some obscure '90s music.
Yeah, I've never smoked in that car. Actually, the first thing I did was just blast Dinosaur Jr. for 3 hours and drive in the back roads. But I got some fuzzy dice because I imagined that in the year 2001, this is what some guy's drug dealer older brother would be driving around in.
Wow, and now you're the drug dealer older brother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You're my drug dealer younger brother, which is just a sad place to be.
We don't need to keep saying I'm a drug dealer.
Let's keep spreading. I'm starting a rumor. Today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start spreading a rumor in Lake Stevens, Washington.
Let's
my buddy Shad's a drug dealer.
Let's start a hashtag, Shad the drug dealer. Everybody. Get it going.
I'm sure there'd be some real, I'm sure that my ops who are still in the Snohomish County area would probably be real happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's true.
They'd be like, "Oh,
my ops."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got ops. I've got ops.
Guys, we got to roll into the Patreon.
We got to roll into the Patreon. This has been a ton of fun so far. Thanks, Garrett, for hopping in.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to say to leave the people with before we go to the Patreon?
No.
A man of few words.
Very few words.
No. Yeah, one word. No.
Yeah. And if you're interested, go on to the Patreon. You can see how much it costs to see the Patreon episodes. Get over there.
Yeah, check out the description.
Yeah.
We worked real hard on those descriptions. We copy and pasted those URLs using
tireless, thankless work.
Exactly. All right. See you guys.